Hindsight Radio, the place for right knowledge.
Peace, everybody. Peace, peace. What's going on? Listening to your host, Akeem L, on the More Empire Building Show here on Hindsight Radio. The information station changing the nation. All right. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope your family's doing well. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're reaching your goals of prosperity, all of the goals you set out at the beginning of the year. I hope it's working out for you, and you continue to progress. One of the biggest things I notice people, what hinders them in their progress is they think too much. They can't turn off the mind who wants to always second guess actions. They can't turn that function off. You know, they could have a document already done and they go back, trying to find something wrong with it to fix it when it was already good when it started off. You know, there's sometimes I tweak documents afterwards, but I move. I go ahead and I put it into action so that, you know, I can get the energy flowing with whatever I am trying to accomplish. I don't waste time. Too many people don't reach their goals because they do too much thinking and do too much second guessing. And that is the number one thing I believe why people don't accomplish anything, or they reach mediocre success. And then those same people will wonder, why can't I get anywhere? Why can't I? No, because you're not moving. You're not taking action. Or you're taking action a little bit at a time. You know, you do something, the spirit flows you to put something together, go move forward with it. You know how many documents I put on the record, and I went back and read the document, had misspellings, had bad grammar in a few places. I thought I double checked it, but I moved with the flow of the spirit, and it was still successful. So was it the grammar, the misspellings? I read Dan Pena's stuff all the time, and his stuff is full of what I would believe bad grammar and, wording, but he's a billionaire. See, the intellectuals, the people that are too smart for their own good, they're always broke. I worked at a bookstore with a guy who was he used to be a pilot in the Air Force, and he had a PhD. But yet I was his boss. The kid who had a GED education and some college. And I know people right now working in bookstores with bachelor's degrees and can't even pay their bills. And when they paid all this money for this education, and it hasn't done anything for them. Now, I'm not going to totally blame that on the education. There's a few people I know personally that's having these financial issues and got these degrees. It's not the education that's the problem. It's their application of the education. It's their daily habits. It's their mind. Their mind, that's the problem. How they process information. Because there's people with bachelor's degrees and PhDs that are doing well. So, how do they do well and this person with the same degree not doing well? The difference is the willpower and the mental aptitude of the person who has the degree, the education. It's like in this information. People read the same documents I read and come back with a totally different definition or a misunderstanding of the document. And they can try to put something together it don't work. What's the difference? It's the mental and also spiritual aptitude of the person behind the information. So everything is run by how you process information, how you perceive it, and how you react to it. You know, I myself don't worry about too many things anymore. You know, every now and then a spirit of worry come up, and then I immediately stamp it out and say, "Oh, it's okay. Everything will be fine." Excuse me. I had to clear my throat there. And, you know, and I try to teach this to persons that I deal with and say, hey, you've got these issues, they're going to take care of itself. It's like what Reverend Ike said, it's already taken care of. The results is already taken care of. How that matter is going to turn out has already been determined. You just haven't gotten to that point in the physical yet. And that's a very hard concept for people to understand. How is it determined? You put it in your mind how you want it to end up, and then you just flow. You don't have to spend hours on paperwork and just thinking and going over things, taking days and hours doing this stuff. I know when I was in school and I studied for a test all night, I always failed. Now, the test that I didn't study for and I just, said it'll be okay, I passed. How do you figure? I try to cram all this information, remember this, remember that, and get to the test. In time to do the test, I was a blank. But when I relaxed and allowed my confidence to say, oh, it's going to be all right, I'm going to pass that test, didn't even study, glance at a few things here and there, go take the test, all of a sudden I can recall things. Boom, boom, boom. I didn't have all the mental blocks. See, when you go and you try to spend hours trying to cram something in, all you can remember is the process of you cramming. Well, I was cramming this, and so your mind is full of all of these procedures you put into place that you are not really retaining the information. We were not created to second-guess ourselves. Once the Spirit put in you to take care of something, you know it, and you know the truth when you hear it. You follow it, you do it, and you act on it. Every time I get an idea and I do something, and then I alter it from the original purpose or the original idea, it never turns out right. Let's say I apply this in other situations. When you first meet somebody, and you say, well, this is not a good idea for me to deal with this person, but you move forward anyway. And then you start having problems. And, well, you know what? I knew it. Why? Because the truth is you told you not to fool with that person. But you ignored it. You went at full steam ahead. We got to start applying these principles. With that being said, I'm going to get back into my book, The Science of Living Study Guide by Reverend Knight, Chapter 11. I'll read that, and then we're going to talk about obligations, specifically obligations of the United States. We're going to talk about that. But before I do any one of those, I just want to announce Tacoma, Washington is in about 2 weeks. I'm going to talk about passport, DS-11, how to correct that passport, your nationality, how important it is to define who you are. Today, someone I'm working with we implemented a totally new explanatory statement. So see how that goes. The other one was working just fine, but me, I like to stay ahead of these devils. So when something pop up, and don't email me, can I get the new affidavit? No, not. I'm just letting you know that, somewhere in the future we're going to start using it. If you've already done your passport as a national, you're fine. It's good. You're okay. If you haven't, I'm gonna still use the existing explanatory statement for now. But the reason why I used a different one, because this person had a specific circumstance religiously that they wanted to express. They went into the passport place, no problemos. That's another thing I want to talk about. I got to really give it to the sisters. They're going in there and they're doing their passport, no resistance. I notice that the brothers are getting a lot of resistance when they're going in there. I know sometimes they give us brothers a hard time just because of who we are. But then some of it I notice is just lack of confidence. Brothers, get more confidence. Stand up. Move in your power. You know what you got to do. Don't let them alter your application. I did that show, Deprivation of Rights, last week, I think. Go back and listen to it. They depriving you of your rights when they try to alter your application and say you can't do certain things. But, yeah, Tacoma, Washington, we're going to talk about nationality. That's November 23rd, 2019. The 23rd of November, 2019. Look forward to seeing you there. Few people bought some advance tickets. I know most people show up and they pay at the door. But if you pay at the door, we take cash. Now, I do take credit cards when I, for my product at the seminar. I take credit cards for that, but we don't take cards for entry into the event. We only take cash. Some people have been asking me, what I'm going to do at the seminar as far as products. For those of you who have never been to one of my seminars, I always offer discounts off the stuff on my website. Like, for instance, if you show up to the seminar, I sell everything on my website, excluding the webinar for the national process for $900, and 3 people can share that cost. So that's $300 per person. But I'm thinking I might change it up, and I have to up it a little bit if I'm gonna, or increase it. Increase the price if I'm gonna include the national passport process. And if I do that, that's only going to include the template that I'm using now. So please no emails about, what is this and what is that? No, you're not getting the new template. Don't ask. That's already been established. And then if you just don't want the whole thing, most of the stuff that's on that sheet that I provide at the seminar, is half what it is on my website. So if you come into the seminar, you're going to get some deep discounts on some products that you may have wanted but didn't. You fell short on your ends or your money, your Benjamins, to get it. You could be able to afford it at the seminar. And some people say, what are you going to be teaching at the seminar when it comes to GSS? I'm going to teach the whole process, short of showing I will not be showing the actual explanatory statements, but I'll show you that you need one, and actually show you how you can get an idea of how you can draft your own if you don't want to pay the extra cost for my template. Maybe the Spirit might move me to talk about the new one when I get there. I don't know. Just depends. I flow in the Spirit of God in me when I move and do stuff. And when I flow like that, it always works out. I've had seminars, I think one seminar this year was only about 7 people at that seminar. But that 7 people, what I revealed to them in that class, yielded like I had 20 people there. So it always works out. So, I just did the one in Las Vegas. That was crowded. That was, all the seats were taken there. It always balances out. That's why I tell you. See, I don't look at the size of the crowd. I look at the quality of the people that I'm dealing with. I'd rather have quality over quantity. People who really want to understand what they're getting and doing. I really appreciate people who give me feedback, and I know when people are studying, when they come back to me, well, I was reading this and I noticed this. That means they read the document. Like I had somebody look at one of my videos and they were talking about, no, U.S. non-citizen, that's not what you want to be. Like as if that's what I was teaching in the video. That means he watched a part of the video and didn't watch the whole thing. Because I teach people how to be a what? A national, but not a citizen of the United States. That's what I teach. I don't teach U.S. national or non-citizen national. I don't teach any of those. I show you how not to be that and what you really need to be. Be definite about what you're claiming. And that's why it's important to read the whole document. Because if you had watched the whole video, you'd have noticed what I was reading when I got down to that part. Oh, that's what you meant. But people see something, they stop in the middle of it, and they want to criticize. See, I ain't looking for people like that. He can go watch some more videos somewhere else. And I don't do this debating on my channel. I see negative comments. Guess what Akeem does? Delete. You get no play on my channel. And you're not going to get any feedback from me. I'm not going to debate with you about my knowledge, or what I know. Now, I do, some people come on and have, hey, and give feedback or give some good information. I leave it there. But people who intentionally come to cause trouble, delete. I don't have time to go back and forth with people who are trolling for trouble. See, there's people out there that's what they feed off of. They want to, oh, this guy said this. I ain't got time for that. I'm old school, I'm a man of old. How we look at stuff and we move on, and we don't let that stuff get in our head. We got bigger and better things to do. I meant to say this on Tuesday, but I'm going to say it now. September 11th, it will be a good idea for you guys to go and buy some gold. Not gold, silver. Silver, I've been getting, someone sent me an email. I may have mentioned it Tuesday, but someone sent me an email, and I've been looking around and looking at it. So don't buy it before and don't buy it after. Buy it on that day. Silver. 0.999 silver. And you want to buy ideal between 3 and 6 ounces, 3 and 5 ounces worth of silver. All right? I'm saying this for a reason. Buy your silver. Oh, there's a energy event going on where that's the day to buy the silver. You won't regret it. All right? I've already got my plans on that day, got my calendar set to go and get me some silver that day. You can buy one coin if that's all you are able to get, but buy you some silver on that day. All right? September 11th, which is funny, not September, November 11th. September 11th. November 11th, which is funny. If you watch the Joker movie, in several places in that movie, the clock is set to 11:11, signifying there's some type of event that may happen on that specific day. They don't give you a year, but it says 11:11. I haven't seen the movie. I just saw little clips of it, but I want to go see it so I can see what's going on. But another movie y'all want to go and watch is The Laundromat, which breaks down how you should set up your businesses. And at the end of the movie, the actress in the movie says that about 78% of all Americans do not know their status or even care to know their status. Whoa. She said that direct. That was a direct remark in the movie at the end. You don't know their status? What is she talking about in this movie? And it has to do with currency and all of that stuff. Well, y'all need to go watch it. That's all I'm going to say. It's on Netflix. The Laundromat. Go watch it. They need to give you some money for advertising. I think I'm pronouncing this right or spelling this right. I just put it in the chat. So watch it. All right. Well, before I get into the obligations stuff, let me read this, give y'all some mind science, and it's a very short chapter. It's chapter 11 of The Science of Living Study Guide by Frederick Aiken Kyoto. Can't get that. I can't get it right. All right, Frederick Ike, Reverend Ike. With God, all things are possible. Mark 10:27. From possibility path to reality road. All things are possible to who? To him who believes. What does that say? You just have to believe the end of what you want, the results of what you want. That's all you got to keep your mind focused on. You don't have to keep your mind focused on the how, I got to do this and do that, be distracted by that. Just keep your mind on the result, the outcome, how you want it to be. All the in between is just lay itself out. You just got to just basically walk through the door. I've watched people have opportunities right through in front of their face. They tell me, yeah, I'm waiting for this and this and that. And then as they're talking and they tell me the story, wait a minute, your opportunity is right there. They don't even see it because you know why? If they too focused on, well, I need to do this to get there. But they don't see that the opportunity is there. They're waving it in your face. But you're too busy looking down at your whatever you want to do, your process, you can't see it. So here we go. A science of living principle. When you believe in the presence of God within you, you become God in action. Let me say that again. When you believe in the presence of God within you, you become God in action. With God, all things are possible is a fantastic statement. However, this wonderful realization is a blank ticket and will get you nowhere unless you fill it in with faith by deciding and affirming exactly what you want. All things remain possibilities until you define what you want, and by faith make reality out of possibility. It is not enough to believe that all things are possible. You must decide what you want, and by faith and action, make it a reality. Do not stop at believing that good health is possible. Decide that you shall have it, and it will become a reality. Do not stop at believing that happiness is possible. Decide that you shall have it, and it will become a reality. Do not stop at believing that love is possible. Decide that you shall have it, and it will become a reality. Do not stop at believing that success is possible. Decide that you shall have it, and it will become a reality. Do not stop at believing that prosperity is possible. Decide that you shall have it, and it will become a reality. Let me stop right there. The reason why most people are not achieving their success is because they believe all of that. I said this already. I'm being redundant. That all of this process that they do, whatever they're thinking so much on what they need to do to get there, so they don't lose. So really, what you're really saying to your subconscious is when you're thinking like that, that is a possibility of you losing. So in reality, you are being double-minded. You really don't believe that you can achieve what you desire. But when you just decide and define that you shall have it and leave it like that without all of the extra thinking and second thoughts, you have placed into the atmosphere, into the spiritual realm, to activate the energy of the spirit of that decision to come your way in reality. And you're just sitting there just waiting for the reality of it. See, thoughts move at lightning speed. It's faster than reality. This is how the energy of thoughts do. They move faster than reality. So reality has to catch up to your thoughts. But when you have a second thought that shoots out right behind it, guess what it does? It cancels out that decision that you made. And you will never see what you say you want. This is why you cannot get what you want, because you're canceling out. You send out the energy of that desire, boom, I shall have this. I shall have, let's just use some, I should have a mansion. That's for me. Boom, and then you say, well, how do I get it? Well, they may not give me the money for it. I got to get a loan. Oh, man, that's going to be hard. Guess what? You just shot a bunch of thoughts right out there and killed that desire. Now you never get it, period. All right, let's keep going. Possibilities are no good until they are made into reality by faith and action. Where there is no vision, people perish. Proverbs 29:18. With unborn possibilities, unlimited possibilities are seeking birth through the mind of man. Jesus said, all things are possible to him who believes. Mark 9:23. I want you to notice something in the above verses of Scripture because there is something between the lines here. Let me tell you what I read between the lines, noticing that with God all things are possible and that all things are possible to him who believes. I get this. The person who believes in God is God in action. Affirm this to yourself. When I believe, I am God in action. When I believe I am God in action, Your oneness with the infinite is your basis of power. The greatest delusion of mankind is that he thinks he is separate from God. That's the only sin there is, because once man believes that he is separate and apart from God, once man believes that he is not the Son of God, then he acts like a son of a gun. That's an old saying. Every other sin comes from this delusion. So if one believes in his oneness with God, all things are possible to him. God does not know you are something apart. The infinite does not know you are someone apart from himself. Say that to yourself and focus your whole mind on it. Say it this way. The infinite does not know me as someone apart from itself. God believes in me. And you see, when you, as an individual expression of the infinite, believe in the infinite, and the infinite believes in you, there is a connection of faith and power that is unstoppable. Say to yourself, I believe in God. God believes in me. I am unstoppable. You're off and running. This belief is the starting point of making reality out of possibility. This is knowing the basis of your power. Your oneness with the infinite is your basis of power. And Jesus, the individual, kept telling us of his identity with the infinite Father. During all the miracles that he performed while he did his good work, he kept saying, this is my Father working through me. The Father that dwells within does the work. And when you believe in the presence of God within you, you become God in action. When you believe in the goodness of God within you, when you believe in the mind of God, the intelligence of God within you, you become God in action. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. I'm going to stop right there, too. Another big reason why people are not accomplishing their goals is because they're not putting forth the kingdom of heaven first. Because it says, put forth the kingdom of heaven or put forth God's things first, then all these things will be added to you. What is this kingdom of heaven? What does that mean? Is it going to church every day, reading the Bible every day? That could be part of it. But I'm going to tell you, what really is the kingdom of heaven, because the kingdom of heaven rests inside of you. It is that inspiration, that desire to do good, that thing that you get up for every day, that wish, like, I want to do this. And a lot of times that desire is to help other people. I want to be of service to someone. Or some of y'all might want to even start a church or something. I don't know. A temple or a mosque, whatever your faith is. That one thing that when you think about it, it motivates you, it uplifts you. But instead of moving towards that, to make that your first thing you do in the day and the last thing you do in the day, you're looking at all of these other things. Oh, I got to do this. I got to wash these clothes. Oh, I got to go to work. Oh, I got to go pay these bills. Yes, all those things, those are all things that you got to do. But you put forth that kingdom of heaven idea that you had first. You put that work, what you was put here to do. You put that first and foremost. Then you go to the thing and do that. And if you start your day off that way every day, you will feel a sense of contentment and peace like you've never known. And then you start to see stuff start flowing. Oh, wow, look. This thing, I could think up money out of the sky. I could think up my peace, boom, like that. Miracles. You're creating the miracles. You're becoming the Christ consciousness that Christ talked about, renewing the mind. All right, let's keep going. All right. Where was I? Accept the possibility of the good which you desire, one step at a time. First of all, in making reality out of possibility, open your mind to the possibility of good. After you do that, see the good already established, perfect and complete, with the eye of your mind. Then you will be connected by God in you to the right people, and your faith will compel the right ways and means and propel you to right action. Check your map. I always get letters from people who are not only making reality of the possibility, but in some cases are particularly making impossibilities happen. One such letter was from a young man in the South. He had been writing me for 2 years concerning the life sentence that he was serving in prison. He wrote to tell me that the impossible had come to pass. The judge had ordered him discharged. He is home free, discharged from a life sentence. You see, when you believe in the possibility of good, when you believe in the power of God within you, you can make even the impossible possible. Avoid dead end roads. Why is it that people always find it so easy and so simple to believe in the possibility of evil rather than the possibility of good? I keep thinking about the young lady I spoke to when I walked down the aisle at my church. She said to me, Rev Ike, I wrote to you and asked you to pray for me to get a job. Rev Ike, I got that job this week. And immediately she started crying and said, now, Rev Ike, I want you to pray for me that I don't lose my job. She had just received a blessing, but right away began thinking about the possibility of losing it. Watch that. I've recognized that mostly the females do that, what he just said. They'll get something so great and then all of a sudden think, oh, man, well, this may go bad. They start thinking of the negative stuff that might, and not realizing that they're actually putting all that stuff in motion just by thinking about it. Y'all females got to recognize y'all power. Y'all one of the most powerful beings on the planet because y'all come from a place of emotion, and emotions amplify anything that you think about. See, the male comes from a place of intellect, and what the most straightforward path. Yes, there's emotions in men too, but that emotion is a tool for women to make things happen at a greater and grander scale. The problem we have today is so many females are in a negative mindset. They're making things happen on a grand scale, but it's going in the bad. It's a bad scale. All they got to do is refocus that emotional energy, and things change. But it's so tough to get females to realize that that's what they're doing, because they're so busy looking outside of them for the problem. That's the problem over there. He's the problem. That job's the problem. My mama, my daddy's the problem. Brothers, y'all doing it too. You know, take your eye off of them and put your eye inside you, and you'll change. Things to think on. I want you to think for a moment about the 3 things that you desire the most and write them down. Say to yourself, what are the 3 things that I desire the most? And if you can't stop at just 3 things, keep listing the goods you desire. Make the list as long as you want. Believe in the possibility of these things, and you will become God in action. God will begin to act in you and through you and as you to bring about the materialization of that good which you desire. And that's it. Quotes to remember. All things are possible to him who believes. Mark 9:23. If you believe in yourself and set forth with positive thought and positive action, the doors of opportunity will have to swing open to you. As a man thinks, so easy. Affirmative treatment. I open my mind. I open my mind to great and happy possibilities. I open my mind and make a decision about the good I want. I visualize what I want. I see myself being, doing, and having the good I want. Thereby, I make reality out of possibility. Next chapter is root for yourself, chapter 12. You better root for yourself, because people are rooting for you, but they're rooting for you to fail. You better root for yourself. All right, with that being said, it's 7:58. I'm going to take a short break because I know my daughter's about to call me any second now. And so I didn't want to take a call and interrupt that call. So what I'll do is take a break. Be right back. All right, peace, everybody. Let's get back to this. I got one more thing I wanted to talk about before I get to the phone lines. As a reminder, press 1 if you have a question. Once I get through with my calls, I'm out. Getting off. And calling it a night. I think I gave y'all some good, the Reverend Ike started off with that. But let's talk about public law right now. Public Law 95-147, 95th Congress, 91 Stat 1227. October 28th, 1977, when this was enacted. And it's under 31 U.S.C. 1038. Of course, you go there, it's going to be an abbreviation of this actual public law. And it says to authorize the Secretary of Treasury to invest public monies and for other purposes. Pay particular attention to other purposes. All right. Being enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America in Congress assembled, that the Secretary of the Treasury is authorized for cash management purposes to invest any portion of the Treasury's operating cash for periods of up to 90 days in 1, obligations of depositories maintaining Treasury tax and loan accounts secured by a pledge of collateral acceptable to the Secretary of the Treasury as security for tax and loan accounts. Oh, they got tax and loan accounts, huh? 2, obligations of the United States and of agencies of the United States, provided that the authority granted under this section shall not be construed as requiring the Secretary of the Treasury to invest any or all of the cash balance held in any particular account. Let me stop right there. Did you notice at the beginning of this, it said, being it acted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America in Congress assembled. It didn't say United States in Congress assembled. So this is another entity. All right? Because, other documents say United States in Congress, or Congress in United States assembled, something to that effect, right? Then as I went down, it said United States and never said United States of America. So that's a whole other entity we're talking about here, right? Let me keep going. Hang on one second. I had to clear my throat. A little irritated. Provided further that the authority granted, let me get back to the document. I just want to make sure everybody, that the authority granted under this section should not be construed as permitting the Secretary of Treasury to require the sale of such obligations by any particular person, dealer, or financial institution. Investments in obligations of depositories maintaining such accounts shall be made at rates of interest prescribed by the Secretary of Treasury after taking into consideration prevailing market rates of interest. Section 2A, Section 5K of the Homeowners Loan Act of 1933, 12 U.S.C. 1464K, is amended by adding after bank in the first sentence thereof the following: shall be depository of public money, and by striking the period of the end thereof and inserting the following, including services in connection with the collection of taxes and other obligations owed the United States, and the Secretary of Treasury is hereby authorized to deposit public money in any such federal savings and loan association or member of Federal Home Loan Bank, and shall prescribe such regulations as may be necessary to carry out the purposes of this section. If y'all listening to this very carefully, they're talking about discharging on loan in this one paragraph, because they're using the word obligation. Other obligations owed the United States. What obligations are owed the United States? First, let's look up what obligations are. An act or course of action to which a person is morally or legally bound, a duty of commitment. So we all know, if you don't know, you're going to know, that Federal Reserve notes are what? Obligations of the United States. So if you're carrying Federal Reserve notes instead of lawful money in your pocket, you got an obligation owed to the United States. This is why when you put your money in the bank, they want to know what you got so they can tax it, because you got an obligation owed to the United States. Now, you're supposed to set that off so you don't have a tax. See, the obligation is the debit, but where's the credit? That's the mystery. Where is the credit? How do you balance the books? See, in all of these discharge methods that they're showing you, they're not showing you how to balance the books. Yeah, you're supposed to redeem it in lawful money. That's correct. But how do you redeem it in lawful money? What language do you use in redeeming in lawful money? You don't just say redeem in lawful money and that's it. You have to put the law that connects it to redeeming in lawful money with it, so that they can specifically know how to set that off. See, I never said that discharge don't work or set off don't work. I said the methods that they've been teaching y'all don't work. But let me keep going. All right? Let me keep going. Section 402 of the National Housing Act. Here we go, talking about Housing Act. Why is this in this? This is supposed to be invest in public money used for other purposes. But they keep bringing up home loans. They're bringing up, the last one was Homeowners Loan Act. The National Housing Act is I'm about to go into. Let's read that one. Section 402D of the National Housing Act, 12 U.S.C. 1725D, is amended by adding the following at the end thereof. Insured institutions shall be depositories of public money and may be employed as fiscal agents of the United States. What did they just say? Let me read it again. Insured institutions shall be depositories of public money and may be employed as fiscal agents of the United States. The Secretary of the Treasury is authorized to deposit and public money in such insured institutions and shall prescribe such regulations as may be necessary to enable such institutions to become depositories of public money and fiscal agents of the United States. Each insured institution shall perform all such reasonable duties as depositories of public money and fiscal agents of the United States as may be required of it, including services in connection with the collection of taxes and other obligations owed the United States. Okay. So they told y'all when you do your discharge, send it to the CFO of the bank or where you got the loan from, who you got to pay back. But this is the National Housing Act, and it's saying each insured institution shall be perform all such reasonable duties as depository of public money and fiscal agents of the United States. Is that bank a fiscal agent of the United States that you're dealing with? Or is there a bigger bank, what you call a clearinghouse bank, that handles these obligations? Maybe it's not these little ones that you're dealing with. Maybe it's some other bank. Well, let's keep reading. C, the Federal Credit Union Act is amended by inserting after Section 209 the following new section, Section 210. Any credit union, the accounts of which are insured under this title, shall be a depository of public money and may be employed as a fiscal agent of the United States. Now they're talking about credit unions. It says, any credit union here, the Secretary of the Treasury is authorized to deposit public money in any such insured credit union and shall prescribe such regulations as may be necessary to enable such credit unions become depositories of public money and fiscal agents of the United States. Each credit union shall perform all such reasonable duties as depositories of public money and fiscal agent of the United States as may be required of it, including services in connection with the collection of taxes and other obligations owed the United States. And by redesignating Section 210 of the Federal Credit Union Act, 12 U.S.C. 1790, as Section 211, banks, savings and loans, building and loans, homestead associations, including cooperative banks and credit unions created under the laws of any state and deposits or accounts of which are insured by a state or agency thereof or corporation chartered pursuant to the laws of any state may be depositories of public money and may be employed as fiscal agents of the United States. The Secretary of Treasury is authorized to deposit public money in any such institution and shall prescribe such regulations as may be necessary to enable such institutions to become depositories of public money and fiscal agents of the United States. Each such institution shall perform all of such reasonable duties as depository of public money and fiscal agents of the United States and may be required of it, including services in connection with the collection of taxes and other obligations owed the United States. And let me stop right there. See, how does a mortgage work, right? You get the mortgage, you get the note, you sign a note, it goes into a bundled with securities. It becomes a security, what is it, mutual fund. It goes into a fund. right? Now, so the premise of discharge is setting off is go to the CEO. He knows what to do, blah, blah, blah. Okay, wait a minute. Hold up. That bank is just what you call a third-party debt collector, if you call it, or if you will. Why is that bank a third-party debt collector? Because they are not the investor. They're just collecting money on behalf of the investor. So you got to go, from what I'm looking, you got to find the bank of that investor, where that mutual fund or where that specific security is held at. And that's where the set-off needs to take place. Right there. Because that's why they will not let you win in court in these foreclosures. Because if one person wins, that messes up the whole lot. If they forgive one loan, that screws the whole security up. That's why you guys are going into court and you're losing. You will most likely never win with these people in court. Why? Because you're going at it the wrong way. I'm going to talk about that on Tuesday, about if you do find yourself in foreclosures, the very first things you need to be doing. I talked about this before, but I'm going to go more in depth. But I'm reading to y'all what they're telling you about these banks. They're all fiscal agents of the United States. And they're handling the obligations owed to the United States. What are the obligations owed to the United States? Those Federal Reserve notes that you're holding in your pocket. Those mortgage notes are obligations of the United States owed to them. So you got to give them back that. And then balance the books. See, they're teaching y'all discharge, but y'all not showing you how to correctly balance that book. And any accounting is a credit and debits. It's all about credit and debits, balancing the book. Even with the IRS, it's about balancing the book. Let me go to Section 3 because it's talking about the IRS in there too. Section 3, subsection C of Section 6302 of the Internal Revenue Code of 1954 relating to the use of government depositories is amended by striking out or trust companies and inserting in lieu thereof trust companies, domestic building and loan associations or credit unions, and by striking out in trust companies and inserting in lieu thereof trust companies, domestic building and loan associations and credit unions. Subsection E of Section 7502 of the Internal Revenue Code of 1954 relating to mailing of deposits is amended by striking out or trust company each time it appears and inserting in lieu thereof trust company, domestic building, loan association, or credit union. You keep seeing this trust company thing? That's the very first thing it's talking about, trust company. Y'all supposed to be setting up your trust company so that y'all can transact business through your other companies. That's why I keep telling y'all to watch that movie, The Laundromat. It breaks that down. The amendments made by this section shall apply to amounts deposited after the date of the enactment of this act. The Bretton Woods Agreements Act, y'all need to be reading these acts, 22 U.S.C. 286, 286K through 12 is amended by striking out clause of the first sentence of Section 5 and by inserting immediately after clause F the following, or G, approve either the disposition of more than 25 million ounces of fund gold for the benefit of the trust fund established by the fund on May 6, 1976, or the establishment of any additional trust fund whereby resources of the International Monetary Fund would be used for the special benefit of a single member or a particular segment of the membership of the fund. And now they're talking about trust fund. What trust fund they talking about here? International Monetary Fund. So y'all need to read the trust fund established by the fund on May 6, 1976. It is, Okay, 25 million ounces fund gold. What is the Bretton Woods Agreement Act? Go read it. The Bretton Woods Agreements Act. Bretton is spelled Bretton, Woods, Woods, Agreements Act 22 USC 286 K through 2. 2A, by inserting A immediately after Section 14, and B, by inserting at the end of Section 14 the following new subsections. B, the President shall, upon the request of any committee of the Congress with legislative or oversight jurisdiction over monetary policy or the International Monetary Fund, provide to such commitment any appropriate information relevant to that committee's jurisdiction which is furnished to any department or agency of the United States by the International Monetary Fund. The President shall comply with the provisions consistent with the United States membership obligations in the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and subject to such limitations as the appropriate to the sensitive nature of the information. I'm going to stop right there because even TV is going to talk about the Gold Reserve Act of 1934, stabilizing the exchange value of the dollar in the fourth census thereof, blah, blah, blah. Read this stuff. Even talks about June 5th, 1933, 31 U.S.C. 463. Shall not apply to obligations issued on or after the date of enactment of the section. I pretty much read the whole thing, but I ain't reading anymore. Okay. Read this because the remedy is in these laws. And you know why I'm reading this? Because I looked at a UCC today. Well, I looked at actually a couple of days ago. And in this UCC, it had a bunch of public laws in it that it listed. When was y'all taught to put this particular public law in your UCC? Now it's got a bunch. I'm gonna be reading more public laws over the next coming weeks because it's a bunch of public laws in there. In this UCC that I looked at, bunch of them. When was you told? If you listen, they told y'all to, especially the secure party creditor process. Oh, put all this stuff in there. Put your birth certificate, this, that, and the other. Everybody just put the birth certificate in it. But when did they tell you to put the laws to connect you to the birth certificate so that you can activate your set-off in your discharge? Not being specific enough. But this particular UCC had everything listed, the public laws, every public law that connects it. Yes. I'm gonna stop there on that one. Let me go to the phone line now. I know ears perked up it's just so crazy how I could talk about these spiritual things nobody want to talk about. But when I start talking about money, money, I can get a get rich quick scheme. They're listening. They want to ask questions about that. All right, let me go to the phone lines. Remember, hit that one if y'all want to talk. If you don't, I'm gonna get a phone call and get off. Get the phones and get off. Right now, there ain't that many callers with their hands up. A lot of people on the call, but no one got their hands up. I guess I'll be teaching real good then. Y'all don't got the questions. All right, 715-501. What's going on? Peace.
Hey, Akeem, peace. How you doing?
Peace. What's up? I'm doing good.
What's up, Akeem?
Nothing much. I'm great. How about you?
I'm great. I'm always try to be mindful of my thoughts because I know you're thinking negative. That comes right back to you. What's funny is that listening to Reverend Ike, and I talked to my girlfriend about it and stuff like that, and talking about you gotta believe in what you want to become, so that it manifests or it comes into your life. And she always be saying to me, Marco, she goes, I'm going to be rich one day. I'm going to be rich. She goes, watch, you're going to see I'm going to be rich. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And she believed in it, right? So she found a job I know it's a job, but she found a job, and then she started making as much as me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she told me, "Watch, I'm gonna be rich. I'm gonna buy a house by the lake." I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, she got another job offer from her old job, saying that they want her back, and they wanted to pay her double of what she's making. And then she told her the job that she was currently at that these people are making an offer, and then they told her, well, we'll up that one, and so now she's making triple what she made. And so I'm like, she's making triple than what I'm making. You know what I'm saying? And she was my point of my story is that she believes that she was believing, and whatever I kept on telling her is rubbing off on her, and it basically she don't even know it's because of what she's thinking is what it came to her. You know what I'm saying? So it does work.
Mm-hmm.
So it does work.
It does. Oh, it works. I get calls all the time. Hey, man, I did this and I did that, and you're right. It works.
Man.
You're right.
And I got into an accident that probably about a month ago or 2 weeks ago. That I remember. And I didn't really care for the car that I had before. Also, I get into an accident, right? And now you got me a new car that I'm very happy with. The color that I wanted, and the model that I wanted, and again, it works.
Yeah.
So
you got what you
gotta
want.
believe that you're the God within you, and that you are God, and that's what you want, and that's what you're gonna get. But the key is you have to believe wholeheartedly.
Right. You can't be double-minded.
You can't be double-minded. Yeah. Exactly. So yeah.
As soon as you get double-minded, you kill it.
You kill it. Yep. That's why you always got to be mindful of your thoughts. You got to be. You can't be slipping. It's like an everyday thing. Like all day, be mindful of your thoughts. So yeah, it's true. Also, I did watch the movie yesterday, The Laundromat, and man, I was like, what is this movie that keeps talking about? What is this movie? It's sure shit, man. It was a good movie. I was like, okay, I'm trying to find a key to the movie. I don't know if I should say it or should I wait for it. It's up.
No, you can say it. I mean, I told people to watch it, but go ahead.
So, like, the key to the movie is that all these people they were making like shell corporations, but the key was that they were making it out of trusts. That they had trust, and they couldn't get touched.
Right.
No one could touch them, and they would get away with it. And then when they got caught, I'm getting all excited. Then when they got caught, they didn't have anything on them because of the trust. They couldn't touch it. They couldn't touch it, and they got out. Right. But they're trying to make a twist for those that don't know. That the move with the key with the hidden messages, people are going to see it as they're going to see it as the smaller people are going to get screwed. Yeah. So we see it on the other side of the coin. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
that was a good movie.
What she said at the end of the movie when she was taking off the mask, when she talked about status at the end. Oh, the status, yeah, that's another key. She said
right there,
78% of Americans do not know what their status is or even care.
Yep, and that's so true. I mean, and until you put us onto this knowledge, I didn't even know about my status. Shit,
Right.
So yeah, man,
breaking it down. So basically, what I just read tonight connects with that movie.
I got
it. All day. If you notice, they really gave the meats and potatoes of it when that African guy got caught cheating at his daughter's friend. That's when they gave you the meat and potatoes when he was giving her the company. That company's worth like $20 million. But then when she didn't keep up with the agreement, he drained it. It became worth only like $37.
$30-some bucks, yeah.
It was just paper. It was all paper.
It was just paper.
Yeah.
What's funny too is that
think about it. Go ahead.
What's funny is that, okay, they made this trust, but then like their not the beneficiary. What's the other one? The one that handles the account in the trust. You got three people. The beneficiary.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of. But they would just like find some person that works in the like a clerk.
The director.
The director.
They had a director.
Yeah. And they would have them sign it
on the papers. Right.
Yeah. And they had no clue what the hell they were signing.
Some regular old clerk. Nobody
that had no clue what's going on.
They didn't have They had no clue of what they were doing. They were just signing all of it.
Just signed it. Yep. It was crazy. Yeah, that was a good movie. I gotta watch it again.
In charge of activity department or organization. So they were just like the administrator. They were just all they did was sign paperwork
of the trust.
And when of the trust. That one lady,
but
they didn't know what they were poor, they were broke.
Yeah. And then that one lady got killed by the electric pole, and then they had to find another director.
Got electrified. Then they got the new lady. I thought something was weird about her because I said, "Dang, her makeup looks really weird." I was like, yeah.
And it revealed itself. But the guy had control over the trust, but he was behind the scenes, and no one could touch him. So that was crazy.
Right.
So,
and it shows you at the beginning about money, and they used the example of banana.
Yep.
And then credit, and then they talked about credit. Yep. And this is so much money, and they broke down what was money.
Yeah.
They said Federal Reserve notes, notes, mortgage notes. It was just talking all that
these,
stuff
all these notes.
Is money. Your mortgage note
paper.
is money.
Yeah.
It's all paper. It's not real tangible. It's just paper.
It only keeps alive because of what people believe that it is. If they think it's value, then that's what it is. And that's what the whole scam is that
somebody said, they showed the face of Benjamin, somebody said this was worth whatever. And everybody believes it, and this is all value. So how does the system work? It works off the backs of the slaves, the sheep.
Yep.
You believe
that all
that stuff is real. So you go to job and get the money to pay for this and pay for that, and don't realize you got fake money in your hand. It's not real. It's just what they said. They made it real. They created a fictitious system for you to participate in. And the only reason why it works is because you're participating in it.
And you believe it and you participate in it. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, that was a good movie, for sure.
Yeah, it is. If everybody could get out of the actual story, because they gave a pretty good story, but those guys was walking through the movie breaking down step by step how to set up your business. Set up your trust, everything. Yeah.
And I got to watch it again just a few times just to kind of catch it more.
Yeah,
it's one of those movies you got to watch a few times.
It's a quick movie too. It's not that long.
It is.
It's really quick. It runs through quickly.
I seen it on Netflix, but I wasn't interested in it. I didn't even know it was like that.
Me neither.
Cool.
I saw it. I said buy it, and I said, well, the other night, I said, let me just see what this is. Boom. And I start watching it, and they start talking about money, and I said, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So I started watching. I said, yo, this movie is breaking down trust and shell corps. It was like 2,500 shell corps under that one trust.
Yeah, and they're all like insurance companies or something like that.
Yeah.
Where they're getting money, but once an accident happens, then they shut it down. And then they run away because they got a trust and they can't be touched. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought that was just a good movie. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about was I did the passport for my son about 3 months ago, and I checked the status on it, and it was like in July or something, and it still says it's in progress.
You can call them up.
Just call them?
Call them.
This is weird. Why does it take so damn long?
Lately, a couple of people have been saying it's been taking a long time.
Yeah.
Call them.
Because I did that like in January.
Usually when they call, they get an answer, and then all of a sudden it comes when you call.
Oh, really?
But that's only happened to like 2 or 3 people where they said it's in processing and it didn't. You did expedited or you did regular?
I did expedited too. You think it'd be coming fast, but no. Yeah, I got to get them up. I just want to see if anybody else had that. I was just wondering if anybody else had that.
1 or 2 people, not enough to say it's a problem. Just 1 or 2 people sporadically over the year. But just call them and find out. They'll tell you what's going on.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
And another thing, too, I don't know if I should speak about it on the air, but with the IRS, what you think?
I don't know what the question is.
Well, I haven't heard from them, and it's been about 2 months, right?
Yeah, they go away for a while. They
But this time I did your IRS bundle. I know I've been doing that, but this time I included my passport certified copy.
Your certified copy. Yeah,
I added that in there, and I haven't heard back from them. So,
good idea.
I'm proving that I'm not, a citizen in the United States. So, I got the proof. Here it is. So I thought I'd throw that in there too for the people that are listening.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I tell people to do that. That's how you got to fight them.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's all I got. Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you, Akeem.
All
right, man. Peace.
All right. Well, peace. All right. Hey, let me take a quick break. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. My daughter she had to call me late because they was out. So let me get 954-629.
Peace, Hakeem. What's going on, my brother?
What's going on? Everything's going good. What about you?
Oh, wonderful, magnificent, and great, my brother.
Good.
Okay, I have it. Last Monday, I think I spoke with you before about my appeal in Florida. It got my actual petition got denied, but I just submitted my brief Monday. As far as on the appeal side for the name, but it's a nationality change. But I have a question. I have my passport. I was recently just charged with weapons under disability. So do I get the certified copy? I was charged with weapons under disability.
Weapons under disability. What does that mean?
Well, I did time over 10 years ago, and when they pulled me over, I was coming out the store. The guy just started going in my pockets, and what they did is they charged me with failure to identify, which is no such charge. So they dismissed that, but they found the weapon on me, and they still charged me.
Well, they dismissed that. They got to dismiss that.
I know, but my thing is, what they did is I went to the preliminary hearing, denied everything. They actually allowed the police officer to have the freaking police report when we were doing the preliminary hearing. And I brought that up inside the preliminary hearing. The judge still pushed it through to be bound over, and I went to court yesterday. And when I left court,
that's not unusual.
So when I went to court, the public defender walked up to me and said, "Yeah, I was put on your case," and I'm like, "Nah, I don't need no attorney." And so while I'm up there talking, they didn't even raise the court. As soon as the judge, he went back there and told the judge that I didn't want no attorney. They come right in, call me right up front, and the judge, whoever that attorney was, filed for discovery. So I get the discovery. Inside the discovery, they admit that that's not even a charge. But he's saying that he started with the prosecutor, and the prosecutor told him to charge me with weapons under disability.
Would you do a motion for a more definitive statement, have them define the statute that they're using that go along with that term, weapons charged under disability? So they need to give you the statute that connects that. Huh?
They put an actual code to it, but it still violates. Yeah.
Did you look it up? Yes or no?
Yes,
what does it
sure
say?
did. It says, I'm going to read it to you. It's crazy because they're saying something about other than a handgun. A person can't have a deadly weapon other than a handgun. Let me read it. I'm about to read it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to pull it up now. Okay. It says, unless relieved from disability as provided in 29-23-14, the revised code, no person shall knowingly acquire, have, or use any firearm, dangerous ordinance, if any of the following apply. Well, hold up. That's the federal. The state. Okay, here we go.
No, they should have wrote a statute number on the charge right next to it.
Yeah, 29-23-13.
You have to be given specific. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it says, unless relieved from disability under operation of law or legal process, no person shall knowingly acquire, have, carry, or use firearm, dangerous ordinance, in any of the following. The person is a fugitive from justice. The person is under indictment for or has been convicted of any felony offense of violence or has been adjudicated as a delinquent child for the commission of an offense that, if committed as an adult, would have been a felony offense of violence. The person, number 3, the person under indictment or has been convicted of any felony offense involving illegal possession, use, sale, administration, distribution of trafficking of drugs or abuse, or has been adjudicated a delinquent child.
I get it. So what's your question?
But if you look up, they charged me with CCW too, carrying concealed weapons, so they actually left 2 charges. But if you look at that charge.
What's your question?
What I do? Do I go in normally to fight the charge, or do I just I put in the affidavit?
Non-U.S. citizen. Yeah, the same stuff. You've been doing cases long enough to know what to do, because you seem to find trouble like every time. You got another case.
We were planning for a birthday party. The lady lied. She said we broke the door, and we didn't break the door. The door was already broke. Even in the police report, it said that the door was slow to open. So my thing is almost like a setup. We was actually planning for a birthday party. The whole way in the store, we was laughing. On the way out, we noticed 3 cops. So as we walked, we didn't know that there was for us, because we was in there literally. We know the cash lady at the cash register. We make the little jokes. We coming out. They grab my arm immediately, like, come with me. And this is what he said: you that Starvin guy. And so even in court, I asked him how he knew me. He said something about the post office. Like, how you know he's from the post office?
You're making too much noise. You fight it the way you've been fighting it. Really, you have a right to bear arms. They can't put you on a legal disability to not carry a firearm. That's constitutional.
Yeah, I know that. I actually put it. What I did is I put a constitutional challenge in, demanded the case be dismissed for the following violations, and I used lack of personal jurisdiction, subject matter jurisdiction, and I stated what happened, and the fact that the code don't even exist. That was the main reason why y'all pulled up on me, to be able to search me, so y'all claim. So I put the motion to dismiss in to see what they're going to do, and if not, I was thinking about going federal.
How you gonna go to federal?
I was going to go in under the civil 1983 and have them put an injunction on them so they can't continue to charge me because of the 4th Amendment violation.
That might work. You're gonna have to, first of all, you're supposed to do a motion to dismiss right out the gate and say why.
That's what I did.
That's all I did. Statements.
That's all I did so far. I haven't done anything else.
Right. Now, did you get a hearing to hear that motion to dismiss yet?
It's on December 11th.
Okay, so then that's where the judge has got to hear your case, and and if he moves past that, as long as you use the right constitutional statement in there, even if he moves past it, you will be able to win it on appeal. You know, they try to blow by it because you use the Constitution.
Judicial notice.
Yeah, make sure you get certified copies of the Constitution, all of that. Yeah.
Constitution, my DBA, the copyright, the actual. I ran the notice for my name and nationality. I put that public notice in there, and I was going to say something. I found another way to get the passports without using the ID. Because when I spoke with you, you told me that they were having an issue with the ID that people can correct the nationality through the driver's license.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they called the police on my cousin when we tried to do it. So we went another route, and I actually, we was able to obtain a passport without even using the driver's license.
Mm-hmm.
I got your number, so I'll hit you in private.
Identify witness statement.
We used that, and another thing that we made it was a form of an ID, but it wasn't the state ID. So they,
right.
what they did is
notarized. You went up and got it notarized by the Secretary of State.
No. It was a whole other route that I did.
Okay.
I got
really,
I'll hit you in private.
Just want to see. Yeah, you hit me in private and let me know what you did. All right.
Okay,
cool.
so another thing I was going to say, this is how I knew it was done correctly. Because when I sent off for the Freedom of Information Act, me and my cousin, we went up there, to D.C., and they actually kicked me out of the passport office. But then they end up letting me do it because of the way how we had to sign at the end. So they were kind of giving us a hard time, but then they accepted it. But I put in for my Freedom of Information Act, and this is how I know it's done correctly. It's because on the first line, they saying that I had to do a notarized statement under the 28 U.S.C. 1746. You know what that is?
Right. Yeah, that when you ask for certified copies, I tell people to do it under that. Use the unsworn declaration. Yeah, without the United States.
Yeah, so they accept that. So that's how I know it was done correct because
they accepted.
I don't think
that's in my explanatory statement, that unsworn declaration.
Yeah. So you right on track, my brother. But like I say, man, I appreciate, man, everything the conversation, because you actually is the one that looked at I read my explanatory statement to you before I submitted my documents.
Oh,
I got
a
consultation from
about that. Yeah.
So I appreciate that, man. Everything went through for me.
All right, good.
But I'll keep you abreast as far as this situation. Yeah, I'll keep you abreast as far as what's going on with this situation that I got going on right now.
Okay. All right,
man.
Okay.
Peace, man. Peace to the guys, bro. Peace. Yep.
All right, brother. All right, y'all. It's 8:54. I am going to call it a night. And do y'all due diligence? Do y'all study? And peace. I'm out.